back to Legendary Joe's Master Routes, and if you love costumes and you love Pictos, this episode is going to be for you because it is absolutely chock full of them. Let's go ahead now that we are finally in the main continent itself, and let's go to the very back left corner. Now, before we head on to Ancient Sanctuary, we want to go ahead and actually explore the continent itself because there is an absolute ton of secret challenges, side quests, expedition journals, Pictos, you name it. It's all hidden in here if you're just willing to look for it. So let's go back by the area that looks like a bunch of vase palm trees over here, and we will find ourselves Gestral Beach. This is where we want to start everything off. So if we head to the big Gestral himself, he'll give us an idea of what this place is all about, and by the fun music, you know this place is going to be a hoot. So, I also think it's really cool how they add the Gestral hair to the vases just to make everything look like giant palm trees. How's it going, buddy? So this is our first side quest of the mission, and we gotta get to the Gestral in the middle to get ourselves some swimsuits. So let's go ahead and start off here, and for the love of gosh, only run as needed. That's really one of the only running jumps you need. This one as well. Just walk. I know it's easy to think that you're going to get washed away in the logs, but as you can see, you can walk right past it. It's just there to mess you up. This requires such precise timing that, again, on console, forget about it. It took me too many times to count to get through here. So, whether you're down by the water or whether you're up top, it really doesn't matter. You have to use the same amount of caution because you can be dropped in an instant. And if you fall in, it basically just throws you right back to the start, which we'll see in a second. So let's jump on in and fight the urge to just speed run this section. Just let yourself run around, get in between the pegs so you don't bounce off the pegs. And just like that, we're good. Do the same thing here, just get in between the pegs. And we want to jump toward the center of the next platform, just like that. Careful not to drop through the center. And this is probably the toughest jump because of this kooky platform here. You can grab the edge of it, and this one you have to run jump. And this one just do the same thing. It's big enough that you can't really overshoot it. And at this point we're done, just don't fall in the hole in the middle. Thank goodness. Alright, let's get ourselves some costumes. As you can see there, we get the swimsuit costume for Gustave, but we know he can do better. So at this point, he's going to ask us a question for Lune. If you actually do the math, the number is 17. So he's asking if he was 2 years old right now, and the expedition number's on 33. Just count up in his age, down the number, you end up with 17 in the middle. Although I don't know if you have to answer it right, because he seems to not know what numbers are. So just like that, we get the swimsuit for Lune as well. And that's all he can give us at the moment. There are apparently other beaches that we're going to find along the way to potentially get the others. So, this is what the swimsuit looks like, just with the French hat on still. And let's go ahead, jump in. That'll warp us back to the start, as you see right there. Now, this is again what the swimsuit looks like for Gustave. There's what it looks like for Lune. So, absolutely looks perfectly in place here. It won't look as much in place when we start getting into more of the combat-centric areas, but that's the charm to it. So, let's go ahead. Maelle just seems completely out of place at this point, and let's head on to the next area. So now that the Gestral Beach is done, let's go just southeast of it, and we're going to see a gigantic jar over here. get ready. This is going to absolutely test everything you have combat-wise, because this is going to be the Hidden Gestral Arena. As soon as we get close there. Now, ultimately, this is going to be 4 different one-on-one fights that we have to take out, and for each enemy you beat, you get a Pictos that actually benefits you for being the only character on the field. So helps you in one-on-one combat, and believe me, when you get down to the last opponent, you're absolutely going to need to pay good attention to your Pictos. You're going to have to max out everything, because that last opponent can literally take you out one shot. Just like the abbots that we took out just last night. So at this point, we're going to start with the easiest one. We might as well throw Maelle at it. So again, you get to take your pick. This is actually a shadow of the actual Gestral Arena that we get in town. And at this point, let's go for the first one, which is going to be Matthieu the Colossus. I also love how the guy named the Colossus is the weakest of all of them. Alright, so we don't have too much to worry about with this one. Let's try to burn him as fast as possible. That way we can go to the virtuous stance. As you see, he pretty much does no damage when he smacks you. So you don't have to worry too much about getting railroaded by this guy. And just like that, counterattack. Literally the counter knocks him down to 25% health. So let's go ahead. We don't even have the AP to go to virtuous mode, but I don't think we're going to need it, because the burn's just about to get him for us. And just like that, we literally dodged and parried both in the same turn. He's out of there. First one is done. As you see, we get the last stand critical Pictos, which gives you 100% or guaranteed chance of a critical hit if you're the only person on the battlefield. So let's go down to the next one, and we are going to throw Lune at it. This is going to be Bertrand. What we have here. It's a little bit hard to see with the colors being so bright up at the top of the screen, but it's Bertrand Big Hands. So, Big Hands does a ton of damage as you'd expect. We just need to be very cautious here. Let's start up with our normal routine, Earth first. And now counter this, which honestly, countering this guy, you need to figure it out. He's only got 2 main attacks, but the one is delayed. It almost acts like an invisible whip. That one's the easy one. And now, let's go back over here. At this point, we are running out of AP, and we're running out of health, so let's just heal up while he's burned. Again, there it is. That's the shank attack that he does on you. And there's the whip. That's the one that always catches me off guard, because you don't see anything, but you just have to envision that he's got an invisible whip he's trying to hit you with. And then you'll be able to time it out a little easier. At this point, he's already halfway down. Let's go ahead, add insult to injury, slow him down even further. There's the whip. Still can't quite time it out right, but that's okay. Because you see, he does a lot of damage, but it's not insurmountable. So let's keep him burned. That's going to be crucial here. And here it comes. Block. Right back at him. And this one is just about done with. Now, we've not invested anything into perks and luminous points yet, but believe me, we're going to have to when it comes to that final fight. So, go ahead. There's the block, there's the counterattack, and he is out of here. 2 down, 2 to go. As you can see, you get a ton of experience from these guys, too. This one gives us Accelerating Last Stand. Again, all Pictos that benefit you being the only person on the battlefield. So, let's go ahead. Battle number 3. Gustave needs a chance. And he's going to get Dominique. And boy, oh boy, he only has 2 attacks. Thank goodness. But he changes up midway through. So, the biggest thing is whether he's going to hit with both hands or whether he's just going to punch you with one. So let's go ahead, set up on him. We need to get overcharge available as fast as possible, because he actually will stay stun locked if you can get him there. So, here it comes. Is it 1 or 2? There's 2. Easy counter attack. Now, for some reason, he just seems a lot easier than the last one did. The biggest problem is that delayed strike. As you can see, the damage output is getting significantly higher. First enemy was averaging 30 damage per hit. The second one was 165 per hit. He literally is averaging about 340 damage per hit. So it is getting intense. Countering, much more important now. So, Gustave is literally the workhorse of the group. He can literally set up stats, he can heal, and he can inflict status damage. So, let's lean into it completely. Let's heal ourselves. And at this point, make him come to us. There's the one hand. And again, all you have to do is just watch for when he's about to bring that fist down. Just don't jump too early and you've got it. Just like that. Easy counters. Now, let's keep up the pressure. Down below, let's go ahead. Mark him so that the next hit or counter attack that we do is going to do extreme amounts of damage, like right there. Almost 3,000 because he was marked. And now let's go ahead, use the overcharge since it's fully charged up. Boom! And just like that, he is broken, but only for a second. Literally, he popped right back out of that break. We might as well not have done anything to him. Alright. We've got to put this guy away. Lumière assaults, that should get us pretty close. And at this point, he's going to make us literally a counter-attack him out of here, I have a feeling. One hand, got it. Boom, done. Just like that, 3 of them in the bag. And this one is going to give us Protecting Last Stand, giving us a shell if you're the only one on the field. And believe me, this is the one that is crucial for taking on the final battle. So, this is where you have to max out Lune in this case with all the Pictos that we've earned so far. Because all 3 of them help when you're the only person on the field. As you can see there, we've got ourselves the Rage and we've got ourselves Shell immediately. Also, we've got Pictos that are doing just about everything for us, especially if we do an actual physical attack. Now, this guy has about 1,000 different ways to attack you, so be careful. He is clearly not meant to be beaten in the first playthrough like this, because the damage he does is insurmountable. If you don't have Pictos equipped, any of the ones we just got, his single attacks do 680 damage. Luckily, we're cutting those in half by having the shell up. And we've also got other Pictos that are helping to boost different stats of ours. But my gosh, these attacks just land like freight trains. So countering is everything, and as you see, he literally goes multiple times per turn. So, get ready, just keep beating him off, and we have got to keep this thing on fire. Because any extra chip damage is perfect. We always want to be doing something to him every single turn. Because otherwise, what's going to end up happening is you're going to heal and then have to survive 2 to 3 of his attacks in a row every single time. And the math just does not work out. So you need to keep him either on fire or absolutely electrocuted, just like this. As you can see, that clearly does the most damage of every attack we have. But we have to use it sparingly because it takes a lot of AP. Luckily, with him attacking us as often as he is, it's constantly building our AP bar for everything that we're parrying.
I'm ready.
So, again, we just have to parry. There's the fake out. He gets me with that all the time. And keep in mind, this is with Shell on, and it still did 404 damage. So that would be 808 damage normally, if that attack would have landed. So, he literally will just about one-shot anything, and he attacks 2 to 3 times per turn. So, let's go ahead and heal ourselves back up, because we only have so many healing items to work with. At this point, just keep relying on countering and him being burnt. There's probably the toughest one to counter, is the flying attack, because time seems to slow down right as he's about to punch you. Let's go ahead, set him on fire, and just like that, this is just about done. This is clearly the toughest challenge we're to have of the day, even though there is going to be another secret boss that we're going to have to take out. So, let's go ahead, roundhouse kick him out of existence, and just like that, he is finally down to a quarter health. go ahead, incinerate. That way he can catch on fire again. And just like that, we just about got it. Again, that fake jab almost gets me every single time, especially since one of his combos does start with a left-handed jab. So, let's go ahead and keep up the pressure. He is just about to go. Hopefully the electricity can get him. I think so. Yes! Thank goodness, literally on the last hit. And just like that, we got all 4 of these enemies taken out and leveled up. As you can see, they have no other rewards to give us, so we get the solo fighter in the end, which just does overall 50% more damage, period, no matter what you're using. We also get the empowering last stand. So many Pictos just for completing this series of 4 fights, and if you go back in there just to check, he does not have a new enemy for you to fight. You can see right there, it's just the same 4, so that's all we can get. And if you talk to them after you beat them, they will say that you've earned their respect. So, just like a true martial artist, let's go ahead, head back out to the world map. Now, as you can see, this area is completely color-coded. So we have the red trees back there where there's another dangerous challenge, but you have to dump an absolute ton of money into it to even make it appear. So next to it is this yellow area up by the beach. And there's actually a merchant here where we can start buying a bunch of the alternate costumes for people. This is one of 2 merchants that we are absolutely going to spam before this episode's over with. But let's continue exploring around the outside edges, because it turns out if you take on any of the battles that's out here on the world continent, it's going to actually help you level up different things. As you see with the rubble that's in the way, there's going to be another merchant down the beach we can't quite access yet. So we are going to have to get SDA first before we can get to certain locations. And now let's continue on around the red zone, which is ultimately where the Gestral village is. And just look at all those jagged rocks. You can see about half of this area is completely inaccessible to us. And we do have a bunch of enemies here that we can take on. Obviously, we said before, if there's a battle that you don't get any new items from, I just showed the last hit of the battle. So let's go ahead here. And that's going to be Lune with her classic Earth Rising, and followed up by Gustave right in the kneecaps. And just like that, notice our weapons leveled up to level 6, each of them. So from level 3 to level 6, absolutely do not dodge these overworld enemies, because they are having an effect on our actual equipment. So with that in mind, let's actually head back towards Spring Meadows, because there was a whole lot of them we missed along the way, and we're also going to find another unique character out here in the overworld, and that's right here is one of the lost Gestrals. So as we see here, something is going to change when we end up getting back to camp with them, and we're going to see that in just a little bit. At this point, let's go ahead and extend our reach by taking out all these overworld opponents. Again, since they don't give us any new items, we'll just showcase the final hits of each one. Completely recontextualizes the idea of actually taking on the battles out in the overworld, because in the main area they just seem like a chore to get your Pictos leveled up. In the overworld, they completely have actual purposes. As you can see right there, we get Maelle's sword up from 3 to 4. Let's continue our search. As you can see right there's the flying waters that we just came out of last time, and that red area right there is the ancient sanctuary, which is where we're going to need to go through to get to the Gestral village. It's going to have its own episode, which will be episode 5 of the series. Let's continue this way for now, because there's a lot of hidden things all throughout here, and we can already tell that we're changing our camp. Now right up here is the Small Bourgeon, And actually, if you didn't know, those gigantic enemies that we fought last time in the Flying Waters, the Bourgeon literally just translates to bud in French. So that can be taken a lot of different ways. Let's go ahead and get these guys out of here. As you can see right there, we leveled up Lune's weapon from 3 to 4. Now, continuing along here, this is where the first of our merchants are, where we get all of our costumes. As you can notice here, if we trade with him, we've got new hairstyles for Maelle, for Lune, and this one, find an expeditioner. Most likely that's going to be CL, which we'll be seeing very soon in the series. So we'll absolutely have to come back to that merchant, but at that point, we've now got 2 new hairstyles and the music track for Goblu, which was the boss of the last area. Also, look at this towering behemoth of a thing. This is actually one of our optional boss fights. We should probably get into it. Alright, so this is the Chromatic Bruler. And my gosh almighty, he is much more lethal than the original. Because you can see, you now have 4 different spinning attacks you have to block, and a 5th one coming back down at you. So, everything is timing about this thing. And again, it's just getting you used to parrying very, very long combos. So let's start this out. Again, Earth attack first. At this point, let's keep up the pressure. So, go ahead, get him marked. So at any counterattack or any main attack will do extra, especially that one, which intentionally does extra damage when a target's marked. And here we go. 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and down. Just like that. Luckily, I think that's the only attack it has outside of a jumping attack, which we'll have to be careful of here in a minute. Thankfully, his combo is literally the same thing every time. So as long as you learn the exact timing to parry this thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 on the way back down, as you can see, every counterattack's doing over 2,000 damage. Let's go ahead and blow his weakness out here, which is doing 17,000 damage. And now, let's go ahead, hit him with overcharge, get him stunned. Thankfully, he actually stays stunned long enough for us to actually do something. So let's go to Virtuous Stance. And as for Lune, who's now in both the swimsuit and the artist hair, let's go ahead and keep everything up. Here's the jumping attack. Jump counter, and one more time, jump counter. Every time we do that, we're doing over 1,000 damage to him. So keep up the pressure. Now we hit him with about 4,000 damage just from the jumping attacks alone. At this point, let's go ahead. Earth attack again. Boom! As you can see, he is weak to it, and with us in Virtuous Stance, he does not have a prayer. As we go ahead and do the flurry, literally doing another 3,000 damage to him. But get ready, because here it comes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, nope, missed it. Missed them both. Jeez. Just like that, Gustave is out of here. Now, we can revive him if we need to, but he's literally on his last leg. We just have to hit him with a good shot. So let's go ahead. Unfortunately, we're out of AP, so whatever we do is to knock us out of our Virtuous Stance. But again, he is right there at the edge. Come on. 1. Missed it. As you see, one of those attacks alone is doing 600 damage almost. Imagine that times 5. That's almost 3,000 damage he's doing. Get ready to jump, counter, got him. Just like that. So Maelle, literally our last line of defense here, as we picked up a brand new Pictos. This is Powerful Revive, letting characters start powerful whenever they're brought back. So, now that's taken care of, let's go out this way. Wow. As you can see, there's the item that he was guarding, the color of Lumina, which we can use back at our camps. And we have just a few more areas to touch up on, because there's another vendor that's down here, back toward Esquier's area, that has literally the coolest shop I think I've seen. It literally just fills you with a ton of good items. So let's go ahead back over here. And we are skirting the left side of the world map here as we make our way further down. Let's finally make ourselves a camp so we can see what's going on with these Gestrals. And we can actually find them hidden in the very back. As we go ahead, update our stats, which we've been doing in the background just off camera. That way you can see roughly where everyone's stats are. And the person we're looking for is actually a brand new, unique character that's come to our campsite. So let's rest up so we don't look like we're about to fall apart. And head over this way. Let's just throw on a music track for ambience. And there's the monolith over there. We want to go toward the cave. So let's head in here. And now as you see, there's multiple paths. Let's take the paths that are lit. And just like that, we have a brand new character. So as we learn there are 9 of these Gestral kids that we have to find, and we end up getting a new hairstyle for Maelle, basically giving her the crazy Gestral hair as well if we want to. So just like that, before we finish off our session with the camp here, let's go ahead and pay the curator a visit. Again, very, very iconic if you know later in the story what the curator actually is. Again, there's no spoilers here. You're not to hear it from me until it's time. But I think it's very touching and disturbing at the same time that the curator is in your camp every time you camp. Especially with Gustave being the one that's actually interacting with the curator. And I know everyone who knows the story is immediately screaming at the screen for me not to go any further than that, and I won't. So let's go ahead, continue our way back. As you can see, to me, the swimsuit for him at least kind of reminds me of a jailbird outfit. Very torn on.
How did the Gestrals survive out here?
I'm not sure.
I can't wait to ask them. Gestrals.
Lune's love of Gestrals.
Were real?
You did not.
Well, I thought it.
Always surprises me. Let's go ahead, rest for the night. And just like that, not only are we fully revived, we are ready for the last part of this journey. So let's continue on. We have another merchant to find. Now let's go over this way by all the crazy cliffs. As you can see, luckily the different areas of the continent are color-coded for you. So we got out of the yellow area to the north, the red area in the center, and over here he is off by the beach. So, get a look at this guy's inventory. It is out of this world. So, we've got Lumière outfits for both Gustave and Maelle, both. We've also got a short haircut, chic haircut, esquier haircut, and the chic outfit, which is basically a tuxedo for Gustave, and that's what we're going to put on him. So, now that we're over here, let's finally pay our bud a visit. So the small bud, or the Small Bourgeon. And now over here, this completely tricked me the first time I came in here. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. When they were talking about the small version, I thought that's what they were referring to. You know, the gigantic one that's frozen in time, but still somehow leaking fluids. I was almost positive that's who they were referring to, but no, it's the tiny little white one here that I literally thought was an item. You know, it's kind of sad when you think about it. He just wants to be big like his brother. We don't know who this mistress is, though we have pretty good ideas. So, looks like he needs a skin of his own kind. So the buds are literally cannibalistic to make themselves even bigger. So let your mind run with that one. I mean, it makes sense. There are a lot of plants that are that way. Especially giving us the clue that his name literally translates to bud. We kind of get the idea that he's literally just a coral plant. So, just like that, we need to get him some skin. But also, before we do that, let's head further back in this area, because one thing you do not want to miss, hidden very well in the back of this place, is going to be one of our expedition journals. So, let's just hop over here, work our way around, because for the longest time I thought there was going to be another one we had to fight back here. Thankfully not. Instead, here's the journal.
Expedition 53, Lune. Dominique's other injuries are manageable, but she's been in a coma for 2 weeks with no change. Fuck. What do we do? We can't just leave her here. But what about the mission? Lance says give her 1 more week, but Dom would have wanted us to go on. She'd have yelled at us for even staying this long. It's the right choice. It is. Even if it doesn't feel like it, right? Right? Pons found a plant, tested it on some animals, says it'll be painless for Dom. He's preparing a tincture. It's fucked up. Everything's fucked up. But it's what she would have wanted.
Well, as you can see from the bodies right there, it did not work out well for him. Now, as you can see, we can give the Bourgeon skin to the small one. This is literally the skin we got from the one that we fought in the Flying Waters. So if you did not find that optional boss, go back to the previous episode. I show where it's hidden. It's in the middle second thirds of the episode. There are timestamps. So, at this point, he's telling us to come back and visit him. So all we have to do is literally just leave the area and come back in. So let's just hop right back out to the world map here. Also, love the fact that Expedition 33 did decide to bring world maps back. I heard a lot of people say the whole concept of world maps was pretty much dead with modern gaming. I love that they brought it back to basics and showed just how it'll work. And look at this guy, not so small anymore. So he definitely got his wish. He's still not quite as big as his brother, but he can definitely see a whole lot higher up now that he's normal size again. So yes, we literally fought one of these things in the last episode if you didn't see it. So, now he's going to give us an item for helping him. Way over there.
Nice.
And just like that, we've got ourselves another color of Lumina, again giving us Lumina points, which we can use to add more perks to our character at the campsite with the curator. So, you do have the option to fight them, but again, remember what I said before, if they are a white Nevron, I mean, it's easy to tell they're literally solid white. Do not attack them, even when the game tries to goad you into it, because there's something coming later in the game that will absolutely punish you if you've been attacking any of them. So leave them alone, they're helpful, they are not our enemy. And just like that, we can finally make the final preparations for next episode. So, getting out of there, we want to head all the way to the north in the center. So get ourselves centered, head back up. We're looking for the red section with all the trees. This is ultimately going to be where next episode's going to take place. That's what's going to lead us into Gestral Village, which you can see with all the giant statues back there. And it's going to be called, as you can see there, the Ancient Sanctuary. So let's camp right outside.
Been a long time since I've seen you play.
A Gestral village.
Yeah. I still can't believe they exist. I mean, what other fairy tales are real?
This is ultimately a war of information. There's still too much we don't understand. Where the paintress comes from? Why she does what she does? Who is she? 70 years and we still barely know anything.
And the man on the beach. Yeah, too many unknowns. But if we take down the paintress, at least that gives future generations a chance to unravel the mystery.
You seem better than before.
Yeah. Holding it together. Shock's worn off. A bit. We can't bring anyone back. But I thought we can keep their spirit alive by pushing forward. And at least there's 3 of us now. The mission hasn't changed.
Tomorrow comes.
Tomorrow comes.
So just like that, our entire party at this point is just about level 20. We've gotten a ton of outfits this episode. As you can see, Maelle back in her Lumière outfit with long hair now. And we are right outside of where we need to be. So if you've not already, please check out the Expedition 33 playlist. Like, share, comment, subscribe so more can see our videos. And we will see you back next time. Take care, everyone.